Hi, good morning. Today we are going to start our next session, session 22. Just recall what we have discussed in our last two classes. We have discussed isomorphism extension theorem. In the last class, we have discussed two corollaries. And the last corollary was if f and f dash are two algebraic closures, then they are. If f dash and f dash closure, okay, f dash and f and dash. Hi, good morning. Just recall what we have discussed in our last two classes. We have discussed isomorphism extension theorem, and in the last class we have proved the conjugation isomorphism we can extend it as an isomorphism. Also, we have proved any two algebraic closures are isomorphic. Okay, now we are going to prove one theorem. Let E be a finite extension of a field F. Let E be a finite extension of a field F and sigma be an isomorphism of F onto a field F dash. Once again, let E be a, note the point, this is finite extension. Okay, finite extension of a field F and sigma is an isomorphism of F onto f dash. Okay, and the f dash closure be an algebraic closure of f dash. F dash closure be an algebraic closure of f dash. Then the number of extension of sigma, number of extensions of sigma to an isomorphism tau of E onto a subfield of f dash closure is finite. What is this theorem? Here, if E is a finite extension of a field F, then this theorem says that by isomorphism extension theorem, we have if F is a if E is an algebraic extension, then we have this result. If E and F2 sigma is F from F dash, then this is F dash closure. Okay, then this there exists an isomorphism tau from E onto a subfield of F dash closure, and this tau satisfies tau of A equal to sigma of A for every A belongs to F. This is our isomorphism by isomorphism. So here this theorem says that there is a finite extension. But therefore, if E is a finite extension, we know that every finite extension is an algebraic extension. Therefore, E is also an algebraic extension. Therefore, we can apply isomorphism extension theorem here. And here this theorem says that let sigma be an isomorphism of F onto a field F dash and F dash closure be algebraic closure of F dash. Then this theorem says that as E is a finite extension, theorem says that the number of extension of sigma to an isomorphism tau onto a subfield of F closure is finite. This sigma can, by isomorphism extension theorem, this sigma can be extended to an isomorphism tau. Okay, and this theorem says that this number of extension, that is this sigma you can extend it some tau 1 and some tau 2, and if S is a finite extension, if E is a finite extension, then this number of extensions of sigma is finite and independent of, and it is independent of f dash closure and sigma. This total number of extensions is independent of this sigma, also independent of this and independent of this. Okay, that is the number of extension is completely determined by the two fields E and F. That is, this number of extension of sigma is completely determined by two fields E and F. Okay. So once again, I am repeating the statement. E is a finite extension. Sigma is an isomorphism of a field onto a field F dash. And let F dash closure be algebraic closure of F dash. then the number of extension of sigma, we can extend sigma using isomorphism extension theorem. This theorem says that this number of extension is finite and it is independent of f dash closure and sigma. That is, the number is completely determined by two fields E and F. Okay. So, as a practical example, it's not a purely an example, just for understanding the concept. Suppose you are staying at Christ College. Okay, this is Christ College. And we have a gate here. And we have a gate here in front. So suppose you want to go to some Irinalakuda. Okay. Also to Dana. So how many possible ways you can move from Christ College to Dana? One way is you can go through this. And one way is you can go through main gate. Okay, or you can consider the side gate also. So another way is go to this. So this ways is completely determined by this position and this position. Okay, sorry, this position. Okay, and it is independent of the person moving from Christ College to Dana or Irinalakuda, etc. There are only three possible ways. Okay, that is, if you are considering our sigma as the person, this path is independent of the person. For example, if Elizabeth can go to this way, or Elizabeth can go to these three paths. Similarly, Aparna also go through these three paths. Okay, so this path is independent of the person. Okay, also it is independent of the destination. Okay, if it is Irinalakuda or it is Dana, there is only three paths from our college to our outside. Okay, college to our gate. Okay, so this number, okay, this number is for sigma we are considering person, and for f dash and f dash closure we can consider this. Okay, just for understanding concept, this is not the actual example actually. Okay, okay, like this sigma, this number of extension is completely determined by two fields E and F. This number is independent of F dash and independent of F dash closure, and it is independent of sigma. Okay, so moving to the proof. So what we have to prove? We have to first prove this number is finite. Also we have to prove this number is independent. Okay, so for this you consider two isomorphism, sigma 1 from F on to F1 dash and sigma 2 from F on to F2 dash. Okay, to prove the theorem, what we have to prove? We have to prove this number is independent of this sigma. Also it is independent of this F dash and F dash closure. Okay, so to prove the theorem, it is enough to prove that the number of extensions of sigma 1 is same as that of sigma 2, because this number is independent of sigma. That means if you take a sigma 1 and if you take a sigma 2, if the number of extensions are, the number of extensions must be same. Also these two fields are also different. Okay, so to prove the theorem, it is enough to prove number of extensions of sigma 1 is same as that of sigma 2. So for this, it is enough to prove that there is a one-to-one correspondence between the extensions of sigma 1 and that of sigma 2. Okay, So suppose these are number of extensions of sigma 1. Okay, and this is number of extensions of sigma 2. Okay, so to prove this number is equal, we have to what we have to prove? We have to prove there exists a one-to-one correspondence between extensions of sigma 1 and sigma 2. Okay, so you can, if this satisfies, if corresponding to some tau 1, there exists a some mu 1, that means there exists a one-to-one correspondence. Okay, so if we prove this, there is a one-to-one correspondence between number of extensions of sigma 1 and number of extensions of sigma 1 and the extensions of sigma 2. That means number of extensions of sigma 1 and number of extensions of sigma 2 are equal. Okay, that means the number of extensions is independent of sigma. Clear? What we have to prove? We have to prove this number of extension. Listen carefully. We have to prove number of extension is independent of sigma f dash closure. So what we are going to prove is we are considering two isomorphisms on f onto two fields. And if we prove this number of extensions of sigma 1 and the number of extensions of sigma 2 are equal, then our result is true. So for proving this, what we are going to prove is, we are going to prove there is a one-to-one correspondence between extension of sigma 1 and that of sigma 2. Clear? That is, to prove this here, we prove the corresponding to each extension tau 1 of sigma 1, there exists an extension tau 2 of sigma 2. Okay, you ignore this for understanding. I am using the notation tau 1 and mu 1. Here we are completely changing the terms. Here we are considering tau 1 as an extension of sigma 1 and tau 2 as an extension of sigma 2. If we prove there exists a one-to-one correspondence between tau 1 and tau 2. Okay, so that means there is a one-to-one correspondence between any extensions of sigma 1 and sigma 2. Okay, clear? Hope it is clear. Okay, so that is our aim. So we are considering sigma 1 and its extension tau 1. Then we are proving there is an corresponding to tau 1, there is an extension of sigma 2. Similarly, you are considering sigma 2 and its extension tau 2. Then we are proving there is an extension of sigma 1. There is a corresponding to tau 2, there is an extension of sigma 1. Okay. So let f1 dash and f2 dash be algebraic closures of f1 dash and f2 dash respectively. Look at this picture. This is our f and this is f1 dash. Sigma 1 is a map from f1 dash, f to f1 dash, and f1 dash closure be algebraic closure. Similarly, sigma 2 is a map from f to f2 dash, and f2 dash closure is this one, and this sigma 2 you can extend as some tau 2, and this sigma 1 you can extend as some tau 1. Okay, clear? Now if you note that sigma 1 here in this picture, if you look at this picture, here we have this is sigma 2 and this is sigma 1. Sigma 2 composition sigma 1 inverse. Sigma 2 composition sigma 1 inverse is a map from f1 dash to f2 dash. Both are isomorphism. Therefore, sigma 2 composition sigma 1 inverse is also an isomorphism. Okay. So, from figure itself, sigma 2 composition sigma 1 inverse is an isomorphism from f1 dash on to f2 dash. What is f1 dash? F1 dash is algebraic closure of the field f1 and f2 dash is algebraic closure of the field f2 dash. Now by corollary 49.3, there is an isomorphism lambda from F1 dash closure on to F2 dash closure, as extending this isomorphism sigma to sigma 1 inverse. Because if you consider F1 dash and F2 dash, okay, sigma to sigma inverse is a map from this one, and the F1 F2 dash closure is an algebraic closure of F1 dash, and the F1 dash closure is algebraic closure of F1 dash. So this is an algebraic extension. Therefore, we can extend this as a map from here to here. Okay, and using the same procedure, suppose this I am denoting as some tau. So tau inverse is a map from tau of F1 dash closure to F1 dash closure, and this also, and F2 dash closure is a algebraic extension of tau, tau of F1 dash closure is a subfield of F2 dash closure. So there, as in the case of psi alpha beta, we can extend. There exists an extension of tau inverse from F2 dash closure to F1 dash closure, and we have proved that is an isomorphism. For that isomorphism, I am denoting lambda. In that problem, we have denoted by mu, etc. Okay, like that, we get there is an isomorphism. Okay, there is no need to write all these things. You can directly write by corollary 49.3. There is an isomorphism lambda from F1 dash closure on to F2 dash closure, extending this isomorphism sigma to sigma inverse. Okay. Now, if you look at this figure, this is lambda. Okay, this is tau. Tau 1 is a map from E to F1 dash closure. Tau 1 is a map from E to F1 dash closure. And lambda is a map from F1 dash closure to F2 dash closure. So what is lambda tau 1? This is a map from E to F2 dash closure. What is lambda tau 1 of alpha? This is equal to lambda of tau 1 of alpha. Okay, and what is lambda of tau 1 of alpha? If alpha belongs to F, what is lambda of tau 1 of alpha? Lambda of tau 1 of alpha is actually sigma 1 of A. If you take A, for A belongs to, or alpha, okay, you can write sigma 1 of alpha. Lambda of sigma 1 of alpha. Okay, so what is lambda? Lambda is sigma 2, sorry, sigma 1 inverse. Sigma 2, sigma 1 inverse of sigma 1 alpha. And this is equal to sigma 2, sigma 1 inverse sigma 1 of alpha. And this is equal to sigma 2 of alpha. Because sigma 1 inverse sigma 1 of alpha means sigma 2 of alpha. So if you consider lambda tau 1 is a map from isomorphism from E to F2 dash closure, which satisfies lambda tau 1 alpha is equal to sigma 2 of alpha. This means lambda tau 1 is an extension of sigma 2, and we are denoting this extension as tau 2. Okay, we are denoting lambda tau 1 as tau 2. So, corresponding to tau 1, there exists an extension of sigma 2. Okay, similarly, so here we started from here. So here if you started from here, suppose there exists, suppose tau 2 is an extension of sigma, then if you started from here tau 2 and considering this sigma 1 sigma or lambda inverse. So tau 2 lambda inverse is an extension of sigma 1. We will get tau 2 lambda inverse is an extension of sigma 1. Thus corresponding to an extension of sigma 1, we get an extension of sigma 2. Similarly, corresponding to extension of sigma 2, we will get an extension of sigma 1. That means there exists a one-to-one correspondence between extension of sigma 1 and sigma 2. We'll check the proof in detail. Okay. So thus we get an isomorphism tau 2 from, okay, obtain isomorphism tau 2 from E to F dash F2 dash closure by starting at E and going first to right, then up, then to right. Okay. And tau 2 of alpha equal to lambda tau 1 of alpha for every alpha belongs. Clearly tau 2 extend sigma 2. Okay. Similarly, tau 1 can be defined as tau 1 alpha equal to sorry, it's not tau 2 lambda inverse, which is actually lambda inverse tau 2. Okay, sorry, by chasing the other way of diagram. Okay, this shows that there is a one-to-one correspondence between tau 1 from E to F1 dash closure and tau 2 from E to F2 dash closure. Hence, the number of extension of sigma 1 is same as that of sigma 2. Therefore, the number of extension of sigma to an isomorphism tau of a field E onto a subfield of F dash closure is independent of F dash closure and sigma. Okay. So using this, we are defining a definition. Now we have to prove, okay, this from here we get this number of extension is independent. Now we have to prove this number of extension is finite. Okay. Now we have to show that the number of extensions of sigma to an isomorphism tau of E onto a subfield of F dash closure is finite. Okay. So as E is a finite extension of F, by theorem 31.16 we have for finite extension, and there exists a finite number alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n in E such that E equal to f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n. Okay. Therefore, for every isomorphism tau of E is completely determined by its values on F, alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n. Okay. As E equal to f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n, this tau is completely determined by its values on F and alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n. So let irreducible of alpha I over f is, suppose this one, ai naught plus ai1 x plus etc. plus am I x raised to I mi, because we have to find irreducible of alpha for each alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n. Okay, where aik belongs to f. So then tau alpha I must be one of the zeros in f dash closure of this polynomial. Okay, sigma of ai naught plus sigma of ai1 x plus etc. plus belongs to f dash. Okay, because this isomorphism tau is an isomorphism from tau is a actually tau is an isomorphism extension. Okay, so isomorphism maps element to its conjugate only. Okay, so tau alpha I must be a zero of, if you consider sigma, okay, in f dash x, as sigma ai naught plus sigma ai and x plus etc. plus sigma ai mi x raised to mi belongs to f dash closure, f dash x has at most mi zeros, the number of possible candidate of tau of alpha I must be mi. Okay, this tau of alpha I must be a zero of this polynomial. Okay, and what about the degree of this polynomial? Mi. Okay, this polynomial, the polynomial have at most m zeros. So the possible values of the tau alpha I is mi, because tau always map alpha to its conjugate. Okay. Therefore, the possible images of tau alpha I mi means number of extensions of sigma is finite, because number of extension is dependent only on the values of alpha i's, okay. So here the possible values of tau alpha i's, there are only mi possibilities, hence the number of extension of sigma to an isomorphism E onto a subfield of F dash closure is finite. Okay. So using this result, we are defining one term and this is called index. Let E be a finite extension of a field F. The number of isomorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure, leaving F fixed, is the index E over F of E over F. This called E over F is actually the number of extensions, number of isomorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure, leaving F fixed. Okay, number of isomorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure, leaving F fixed. Using this, we have one corollary. If F is a subfield of E is a subfield of K, where K is a finite extension of a field F, then like in degree, we have this result in index. Index of K over F equal to index of K over E into index of E over F. Proof is moving to the proof. It follows from above theorem that each of E over F. E over F means what? E over F means index of E over F. That is number of isomorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure, leaving F fixed. Okay. Here we have by above theorem there exists only finite number. Let it tau I be the tau I. Okay. Number of isomorphs is tau I. Okay. Of E onto a subfield of F closure, leaving F fixed. And K over E is the extension to an isomorphism of F, isomorphism of K onto a subfield of F closure. Okay. So here we have this result F. Okay. So what is tau I? Suppose we have E. What is E over F? E over F is the number of isomorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure, leaving F fixed. Okay. Suppose if you take one sigma 1 from this collection, this is not the isomorphism, this is the total number. Suppose we have some n number and we are taking one number, and this using this same result, this we can extend it to this is actually an isomorphism from E to a subfield of F closure, and we have to find extension of key to a subfield of F closure. Okay, so how many extensions are there? Here we have K over E, index of K over E extensions. We have index of K over E extension. For each sigma 1, we have index of K over E extension. Okay, so for sigma I, we have denoting as tau I. So from above theorem, we get each of the index of E over E isomorphism tau I of E onto a subfield of F closure, leaving F fixed, has index of K over E extension. Okay, so total number of extension is, for each sigma 1 we have K over E extension. So if sigma 1 we have this one, if sigma 2 we have this. So total number of extension is index of E over F into index of K over E. Now consider the map I from F to F. Okay, clearly F of alpha is an algebraic extension of F, and let F closure be an algebraic closure of F. Then by isomorphism extension theorem, we can extend I to an isomorphism tau from F of alpha onto a subfield of F closure such that tau of A equal to I of A, which is equal to A. Okay. Therefore, by corollary 48.5, let alpha be algebraic over field F. Every isomorphism here psi mapping F of alpha onto a subfield of F closure such that psi of A equal to A maps alpha to a conjugate of alpha. Therefore, our tau must maps alpha onto a conjugate beta of alpha over F. And we know that this conjugation isomorphism psi alpha beta is unique and it maps alpha to its conjugate. Therefore, tau must be equal to psi alpha beta. Okay. So this also tau equal to psi alpha beta. And let P of x equal to irreducible of alpha over f, and n is the degree of P of x. Okay. Note that the number of roots of P of x in F closure is n. Therefore, the number of possible choices for tau alpha is n. Hence, the number of isomorphism of f of alpha onto a subfield of F closure is n. And clearly, for this tau of A equal to A. Okay. Hence, the number of isomorphism of f of alpha onto a subfield of F closure, leaving elements of F fixed is n. Okay. Therefore, degree of f of alpha over f must be equal to n, which is equal to degree of P of x. Okay. So, here we get degree using this concept. Okay. So, index of f of alpha over f is equal to degree of irreducible of alpha over f. So, we have this result, index of f of alpha over f is equal to degree of irreducible of alpha over f. So, we have to find q of root 2 over q, index of q of root 2 over q. Using this result, we get this is same as degree of irreducible of alpha over f. So, irreducible of q of root 2 over q is this one and its degree is 2. Therefore, index is 2. Now, find the index of q of root 2 root 3 over q. And using previous result, we have q of root 2 root 3 over q of root 2 q of root 2 root 3 over q equal to q of root 2 root 3 over q of root 2, and it is q of root 2 over q. Q of root 2 over q is 2 and q of root 2 root 3 over q. For this, first find irreducible of root 3 over q of root 2. This is x square minus 3 and its degree is 2. Therefore, index of q of root 2 root 3 over q is 4. We have also degree of q of root 2 root 3 over q is also 4. Now, next, describe all extension of the identity map of Q is an isomorphism onto a subfield of Q closure. Okay. This I am giving you as a homework. Go through the proof and complete and try to do some exercise problems using the same procedure. Okay. One problem I am giving you as an assignment. Okay. That's all for today's class.